Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from the group 5. We will deliver the material, feature specification for the subject. For the members, Rio Ardiansyah, Ditya, Apriliana, Rosobin, Rimbang, Salsabila, Layyinatusy.S, and I hope you guys can understand with our simple delivery as it is and enjoy watching.
Feature specification for the subject. In general, most verbs select a regular noun phrase as subject. 34. A. John or some books or the spy disappeared. B. The teacher or the monkey or he fooled the student. However, as noted in the previous chapter, certain English verbs select only it or their as subject. 35. A. It or John or the rains. B. There or the spy lies a man in the park. The pronouns it and there are often called appellative, indicating that they do not have or contribute any meaning. The use of these appellatives is restricted to particular contexts or verb, though both forms have regular pronoun use as well. One way to specify such lexical specification for subject is to make use of a form value specification for nouns. All regular nouns as default specification. Overall, we classify nouns as having three different noun form values: normal, it, and there. Given the noun-form feature, we can have the following lexical entries for the verb above. You can see in this picture. And then we can also above the only a limit set of verbs require their subject to be noun forms there. 37. A. There exists only one truly amphibian mammal. B. There arose a great storm. And then 38. A. There exist few solutions which are cost effective. B. There is a riot in the park. C. There remained just a few problems to be solved. The majority of verbs do not allow there a subject. 39. A. There runs a man in the park. B. There sings a man loudly. For the sentence with their subject, we first consider the verb form which have regular subject. A verb like SS in 37a takes one argument when used in an example like only on truly amphibian mammal exists, and the argument will be realized as the specifier as dictated by the entry in 40a. In addition, such verb can introduce there as the subject through the argument realization option given in 40b, which is the form that occurs in the structure of 37. And for the 40, you can see in this picture.
Now into clausal complement or subject. A. Verb selecting a clausal complement. We have seen that the comp list includes predominantly phrasal elements, but a whole clause as a complement, either finite or non-finite. For example, consider the complement of think or believe. 41. I think that the press has a check and balance function. B. They believe that Charles Darwin theory of evolution is just a scientific theory. That here is optional, implying that this kind of verb selecting for a finite we will note it as a V-form finite. That is, this verb will have one of the following two coms values. Look at this picture or next picture, next page. A comes as for V form finite. B comes CP V form finite. We can also find somewhat similar verb like demand and require. 44. John demands that she stop phoning him. B. The rules require that the executive be polite. The finite verb itself is actually in the past form. You can look at 45 or 3 diagrams. The verb require selects a base CP complement and this comes requirement is discharged at its mother VP. This satisfies the head complement rule. There is one issue here with respect to the calculation of the V form value. The CP must be base, but this information comes from the head C. One way to make sure this is assume that V form value of C is identical with that of its complement S are represent lexical entry for T6. That is for T6, complementizer agrees with regard to V form value with its complement sentence. For future structure description that include the information post-noun and post-complement respectively. 47a. J warned the class that the exam will be difficult. B. We told Tom that he should consult an accountant. C. Mary convinced me that the agreement was sound. The coms value of such verb will be in 48. There is an infinite type of CP. Some verbs select it is non-finite CP as the complement. 49. A. Tom intend for Sam to review the book. B. John would prefer for the children to finish the oatmeal. Data show that verbs like intend and prefer select an infinitive CP clause. For the verb intend, we'll have the following lexical information. Look at the next picture, 51 and 52. Complementizer that the complementizer for selects an infinitive as its complement. The evidence that the complementizer for requires an infinitive as can be found from coordination data. 53. A for John to either make up such a story or repeat it is outrageous. Coordination of base VPS. B. For John either to make up such a story or to repeat it is outrageous. Coordination of infinite VPS. In 54, John intends to review the book. B. John would prefer to finish the oatmeal. And in 55, look at the picture. And then complement types such as an infinitive VP or S. 56. A. Tom tried to ask a question. B. Tom tried for Bill to ask a question. 57. A Tom tend to avoid confrontation. B. Tom tend for Mary to avoid confrontation. 58. A Joy hoped to find a solution. B. Joy hoped for Beth to find a solution. Most verbs that select a CPN at first glance select N and B too. 59. A. John believed it that he is honest. B. John mentioned the issue to me or mentioned to me that the question is an issue. According to hierarchical, the type nominal is a supertype of both noun and com in accordance with the basic properties of systems of type, feature, structure. An element specified as post-nominal can be realized either as post-noun or post-com. This will correspond to the phrasal type NP and CP respectively. The hierarchical implies that the subcategorization pattern of English verbs will refer to at least each of these types. Consider the pattern.
Verb selecting a clausal subject. In addition to CP as a complement, we also find some cases where a CP is the subject of a verb. A. John bothers me. B. That John snores bother me. A. John loves Bill. B. That John snores love Bill. The contrast here means that verb like bother can have two realizations of the argumentative statement, whereas those like love allow only one. These different realizations all hinge on the lexical properties of the given verb, and only some verbs allow the dual relationship described by 67a. A clausal subject is not limited to a unit that had CP, but there are other clausal types. A. That John sold the ostrich surprise Bill. That clause CP subject. B. For John, to try his horse would be desirable. Infinitival CP or VP subject. C. That the king or queen be present is a requirement on all royal weddings. Subjunctive that clause CP subject. D. Which over you should adopt first is all clear. We have question CP subject. Naturally, each particular predicate dictates which kinds of subject are possible, as in 68, and which are not, as in 69. A. That Fred was unpopular nominated Bill. B. That Tom missed the lecture was enjoyable. C. For John to remove the mother is undeniable. D. How much money Gordon spent is true. For example, the difference between the two verb nominate and surprise can be seen in these partial lexical entries. Unlike nominate, the first argument of surprise can be a nominal. This means that a subject can be either an NP or a CP. Okay, the next, adjective selecting a clausal complement. Like verb, certain adjectives can also select CP as their complement. For example, confident and insistent select a finite CP, whereas eager select an infinitival CP. A. Tom is confident that the elephants respect him. B. Tom is insistent that the witnesses be truthful. A. Tom seems eager for her brother to catch a cold. B. Tom seems eager to catch a cold. We can easily find more adjectives which select a CP complement. A. I am ashamed that I neglect you. B. I am delighted that Mary finished his thesis. C. We are content for the cleaners to return the traps next week. D. We were thankful that no one had been hurt. A. We were glad it was over. The lexical entries for some adjectives are given in 74. Such lexical entries interacting with the head complement rule, the head specifier rule, and the EFB can listen analyze such as 75 for
72b. When the head adjective eager combines with its complement, VP, it satisfies the head complement rules. The same rule allows the combination of the verb seems with its AP complement. Okay, the next material will be explained by Rio.
Noun selecting a clausal complement. Noun can also select a complement, for example, eagerness. A. John's eagerness for Harry to win the election. B. John's eagerness to win the election. Untuk rumus, bisa dilihat di bawah. Selanjutnya, one pattern that we can observe is that when a verb selection a complement, if there is a corresponding noun, it also select a complement. A. Bill alleged that Fred signed the check. B. We believe that the director were present. C. We convinced him that the operation is safe. A. The allegation that Fred signed the check. B. The belief that the director were present. C. His conviction that the operation is safe. This shows us that the derivational process which derives a noun from a verb preserves the complement value of that verb. A. His attention that the earth is round. His article that the earth is flat. The ignorance that James can play the flute. The expertise that she knows how to bake croissants. This noun cannot combine with a complement, indicating that they do not have complement in the value of complement. Preposition selecting a clausal complement. In general, preposition in English cannot select a complement. A. Alan is thinking about that his students are eager to learn English. B. Fred is counting on for Tom to make an announcement. However, complements sometimes known as indirect question may serve as propositional complement. A. The outcome depends on how many candidates participate in the election. B. Fred is thinking about whether we should stay in Seoul. These facts show us the indirect question have some features which distinguish them from canonical that are for complement and makes them somehow closer to true nouns. For noun is the typical complement for a preposition.